Man, I have to share this story with you. So, it's JR with JR Law Group. I was with one of my last criminal defense clients. I have decided that I'm going to retire from criminal defense so that I can focus on personal injury cases and litigate my own personal injury cases. So there I was, and God truly humbled me. God reminded me of my purpose, reminded me why I grew up the way I did, why I have learned to be so empathetic, and helping people is my passion. So I was in Douglas County. I have a client who is 21. When he was 18, he was arrested for several felonies. And he made an impression on my heart. And it reminded me so much of myself, being very young, not having any role models, not having a father figure around, and graduating from high school and being around a bunch of different people, trying to find your way, trying to find your identity. So there I am in front of the judge. I've already worked with the prosecutor and used my charm in whatever way I can to help this client out. He is facing 20 years for 4 different felonies. I've worked out to get 3 felonies dismissed and get him on probation for one of the charges with an early termination. And oh, by the way, completely wiping his record clear if he does the probation and complies with an early termination date. The judge immediately says, you know, Mr. Robinson, Attorney Robinson, I'm sure you have an amazing offer that you worked out with the district attorney's office, but I don't give probation for these types of charges. And I said to the judge, I said, Judge, if you would allow me a moment to share something with you, and if you'd give me the grace to go in detail. I said, Judge, I have been through a very difficult life, and I stand before you a very polished attorney with a Marine Corps background, but much like this young man, Judge, I was in a crossroads. I made mistakes early on in my life. I didn't have a father. I quite honestly didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I knew I was smart, but I just didn't know. And I said to the judge, I said, you know, I stood before the same situation where someone like you sitting in this seat could give this young man a second chance at life. And luckily for me, 31 years ago, facing 2 felonies and a lot of time in jail, the judge gave me a chance. And I said, Judge, you don't go from 31 years ago with 2 felonies, 2 gold teeth, and getting your GED in juvenile jail to becoming an attorney without someone who believes in you. And the judge looked at me and said, wow. It's a touching moment. It's very quiet in the courtroom. The judge said, well, I got something to share with you. And he said, now this judge is an older white man, but very respectful, very understanding, and very strict. He said, I have a friend who was arrested for 20 pounds of marijuana. And throughout the case, somewhere before trial, the marijuana disappeared. And so the state had to dismiss the case. And he said that his friend saw that as a sign from God to turn his life around. And he is super successful now. And the judge said, I'm going to give you that chance because your attorney has prepared you so eloquently, and I'm going to believe that you're going to make a difference. It just reminded me, man, I was so humbled. I'm getting chills now. I'm so thankful. But I'm done with criminal defense. Personal injury is my life now. And I just want that to be a notice of encouragement that even if you make mistakes in your life, that you can turn your life around. And other people's judgment is not for you. It's not for you. It's for you to make the difference. It's for you to say, okay, this is it. This is enough. I want to go a different route. And I'm thankful that this young man is going to have a chance to do that because I stood in the gap for him. Do you hear that? I stood in the gap for him. May God remind you that sometimes you need people to pray for you and stand in the gap. I'm so thankful God reminded me of my purpose, and it's got me overwhelmed. So I hope that I share with you guys helped you out too. JR Law Group. Hit by a truck or a car, call JR.
How you all doing? I welcome you guys back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. Now, J.R. Robinson, the ex-boyfriend or husband or hubby of Tamar Braxton, actually has come out to take back all the negative energy, the negative words sent towards Tamar Braxton just immediately after they broke up last month. J.R. actually came out via his official Instagram page and posted a video first, then later on he went on his Instagram status and actually sent in that message you're seeing on the screen. He said, "Dallas, get ready for the one and only Tamar Braxton, sending love and light. Thank you, Tamar, for being super supportive during an incredibly difficult time. You are not negative and you are not a horrible person. You are a blessing to the world and have always been nothing short of super supportive and of course uplifting." That's the message he sent in. I think this comes as a result of him being dragged on the internet by so many people, most especially the women and the Tamar Braxton fans, because he had actually came out and revealed that Tamar was full of negative energy. Of course, he did not straight away come out and said all those words, but according to the videos and the message he sent in initially that had actually announced their breakup, it clearly revealed that Tamar was full of negative energy and was a horrible person, according to J.R. And if you can read between the lines, it's what J.R. Robinson, that attorney, was trying to mean. Because if you try and analyze, if you have a head, of course, he had said that he's going to take a break of relationships and regain his positive energy, his positive vibes. That indicates that the person he was with in the relationship was full of negative energy, and that is none other than Tamar Braxton. So he has come out to take out, to take back those words he had said, and it clearly comes as a result of the pressure which the netizens, most especially those who do support Tamar Braxton, sent towards his pages and social media channels. Of course, we're waiting to see what Tamar actually comes out to react with regards to this whole situation.